You don't understand that without sacrifice, you will not get what you want. I couldn't believe what I heard today, and it's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time. And I keep hearing this over and over again just because I'm getting little to no sleep on some nights. And it's why? Why am I doing it? I've been waking up almost every day around 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30. And today, somebody asked me why. And I kind of get where he's coming from, because me, 10 years ago, never used to wake up at 2:30. Used to go to sleep at 2:30. So to wake up at 2:30, it's like, what on earth are you trying to achieve by this? But it took me years to get to the point where I am now, realizing that in order for me to really achieve what I want and need to achieve, then I need to sacrifice. And this could come in many different shapes and sizes and forms. It's not necessarily sacrificing sleep, but it's also sacrificing enjoyment. It's sacrificing relationship time. It's sacrificing hunger. It's sacrificing you time, all for the better good, all for the betterment of your life. You don't understand that sacrifice now means a better future later. Sacrifice in the moment means that in a couple years' time, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, you're going to live a much better life. I woke up at 2:30 today and I went to sleep at 12:30. So far, I've had one message on Instagram saying, you got to go to sleep earlier, sleep's so important. And I was at the gym this morning from 5 a.m. Literally just got back home. It's 4 p.m. now. First thing I decided to do was come here and record this video, because it just kind of infuriates me. And if you're willing to hear some hard truths, then I think this video is going to be for you. If you're someone who doesn't really want to hear the truth and wants to continue living the life that they're living and really and truly not edging anywhere closer to fulfilling their full potential, then this video is not for you. Then you should go off this video right now. What, we're 2 minutes in? 3 minutes in. You shouldn't watch this video, because the things that I'm going to talk about here are things that are going to hit home, are things that might seem a little extreme for many, but they're the reason why I've built my physique, I've built discipline, I've built consistency, I've built a completely new identity from nothing, from being a piece of shit bum. And, if you want to make that change in your life, then this video is probably going to be for you. I, for years, just wasted time not fulfilling my full potential. I'm so far away from my full potential, but every single day I'm edging closer and closer and closer. And that's because I am sacrificing. By the way, I'm well aware that having 2.5 hours sleep is not deemed as healthy. For years I spent preaching to everyone that they should be getting 7 to 9 hours sleep. 7 to 9 hours sleep. It's best for muscle growth. It's best for recovery. It's best for brain fog and all these kind of things. And yeah, for the most part, get your sleep 110%. I don't know when I'm releasing this, but it is Friday the 14th of August right now as I speak. And I'm going to be getting 8 hours sleep tonight. But there are some days, there are some weeks, there are some months where you have to sacrifice in order to get what you want. Now, I don't know how much of my page you've been watching, but I'm trying to build a seriously big business here. I'm not talking about £10,000 a month. I've been making £10,000 a month for the past 4 months running, and this is just the beginning for me. Bear in mind that I made less than £40,000 on my first year as a coach, and I'm now 3 years in. I'm not sure exactly the number, but I'm a couple years in now. I'm on my 3rd year, and I am already surpassing in 4 months what I did in 1 year. But this is nowhere near enough. I need so much more, because I'm trying to build not just a business, but a life that I and my girlfriend, who will be my wife, and our future family can live with being comfortable and being happy. And I also don't want to spend years of my life with so many people around me trusting that I'll get the job done without actually trying and without actually pushing myself to every single limit. So if that means that some nights I'll get 2.5 hours sleep, I will. I will. I'm sorry if this hurts anyone's feelings. And I know the Itai from 3 years ago would be like, are you crazy? 2.5 hours sleep. That's like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I was getting 4 hours sleep and I was struggling. I was like, nah. That would happen once every 2 months. And I'd be like, nah, this is not for me. But I've changed since then. And so I'm not saying you need to get 2 hours sleep. That's not what I'm saying. You need to understand the bigger picture. It's about sacrifice. It's about sacrifice in the moment and not letting your true desire come through. Because we have desires that pull us in 2 different directions. We have a good desire and we have a bad desire. The bad desire is one that you and I and everybody has to deal with every single day. And that is the decision that you've gone with, that is the bad decision that you know is incorrect. But in the moment, you don't care because the desire takes over. You have this force within you that does not let you see the bigger picture, the truth, what you really want, who you really are, and the actions you need to do on a day-to-day basis that align with who you want to be. Because when you're in the moment and you're on your phone and you're on Instagram and you're just constantly scrolling, one more video, all of a sudden you're like 15 minutes in. You have no time in the day. The day is sacred. Do you understand that every second you have on this earth is limited, and you're spending it scrolling and wasting your time and rotting your brain? One more video. And you know it's not a good thing. And I know it's not a good thing. In fact, it's the opposite of a good thing. It's an extremely bad thing. But you'll continue to do it. Why? Because it's addictive. Because the system and the, the way it's built is designed for you to keep scrolling so you could rot your brain, and then eventually you're not even going to have a brain to do anything good with your life, and then you're going to be in the control of other people. Life is all about control and money and power. And so the more people that the rich can control, the better for them, because they stay richer and they gain more power over you. But you need to decide that actually this power, this inner force that is driving you to just scroll for one more video, needs to be pulled in the complete opposite direction so you can do good with your life. That's when you're going to start progressing day by day, week by week, month by month, and you're going to start to believe in your capabilities. I always talk about belief and how important it is, but most people don't even believe in themselves. When was the last time you followed through with something that you actually wanted to do, but you didn't, because you didn't have the self-belief? And even worse, you don't even understand the power But the example that I just gave you 1 minute ago, with this inner force driving you to do wrong, even though you know it's not a good thing, even though it goes against your morals, even though you know it's the wrong thing to do, but at the time, you just don't care. It's like you finish your meal, and that's your food for the day, but you decide that you're going to go to the kitchen and have some dessert. And it doesn't just stop there, and I don't even need to get into what it gets into, what happens afterwards. But it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. It's not just one cookie after your meal. Oh, trust me, I've been there millions of times. Like, you think I'm actually here sitting like an angel? Nah, I've been through exactly what you're going through. I've binged. By the way, inherently, binging is fun. You know, it's great. And there's a time and a place for it. But not to the point where you say you're going to do one thing and then you do the complete other thing. And then it holds you back. And then you begin to lose the belief that you can do it. And then you spiral. And then you eventually become someone who you can't even recognize. Not in a good way. In one of the worst ways. In a really bad way that hurts the soul. Because you know that you have so much more potential and you are not fulfilling it. You keep doing the wrong things and you keep allowing the inner force to take over. The desire to have dessert, the desire to eat one more portion, the desire to just stay in bed for an extra 20 minutes, which you think at the time 20 minutes is fine. You're still going to be able to get up and go to the gym. But 20 minutes goes by, and guess what? You're just going to add another 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden, you've missed your gym session yet again. How many times, brother? How many times? All because this inner force is telling you, it's okay. It's okay. Just stay in bed. Just eat that cookie. Just have one more portion. It's okay. Don't worry about what you said. We'll deal with the repercussions later. But the truth is, when you do these things, you're acting like a child. You know, when a child and you says he wants this toy, you're walking through a shop and he sees this toy, he's like, "Hey, can I pick this up? Can I have it, Mum? Can I have it?" Mum's like, "No." And he's like, No, I want it, Mum, please, no. Mum's like, No, you're not having it. And the kid just takes it because he doesn't understand right from wrong. But you do. You understand right from wrong, but you keep doing wrong over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it's soul destroying. It's so bad for you. And I know because I've been there. Even though my business has just started to take off over the past 4 months, I've been in situations where I've been needing to work, but this voice, this inner power, this inner force is telling me, no, have a 20-minute nap. You know, you don't need to do these check-ins right now with clients. They matter, but not as much as your rest, your sleep. You need to get more sleep. Bro, I've been there so many times where I've been doing the wrong things over and over again. And you know deep down it's wrong. But because this power inside you is so strong, it pulls you away from the direction that you're meant to go in. Takes you away from who you really are. And then when you keep doing it, that basically becomes who you are. But because you understand that this power is so strong, you can use that power in a complete opposite direction and take it the other way. Take it into the direction to turn you into the person that you're really supposed to become. You know, you're only watching this video because you feel that there is so much more for you in life. Anytime I felt anxious or sad or depressed, it was only because I knew that there was something more. I didn't know what. It took me years to figure out what I wanted. Do you know exactly what you want in life? Have you sat down, written down what your goal is, the actions you're going to do to get you there, the things you need to take away from your life, the times you're going to wake up in the morning? You don't know really where you're going because you haven't even written it down. And because you haven't written it down, you don't truly understand what you want. And so if you don't understand what you want, get yourself a notepad. Start writing, and you don't need to write it in a book. You can write it in your notes app. I did this for years. But you need to understand. And slowly but surely, you're going to start to understand who you really are, what you want from life, what you need to do, and you can start fulfilling your potential. Then, when it comes to that point where you are stuck between two decisions, one which pulls you away from the version that you want to become, and one that drags you towards it, you are going to use that inner strength, that inner force to drive you towards this new identity, the person that you are truly made to be. I feel like one of the biggest reasons why everything is just clicking at the moment is because I'm aligned with my purpose, with what God wants me to do on this earth. I want to build a huge house. I want to get married, have so many children, raise these kids the way they're supposed to be raised, pass down this knowledge, this experience in ways that I was never taught. Because this is what life is about. It's about passing down the experiences we have to generations to make this life better for everyone. You know, even though I've gone through shit and I've been sad and I've been depressed, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because without it, I wouldn't see the light. You know, I could have been living a very comfortable life, just, normal job, 9 to 5, not worked out, not cared about my physique, just gone to the pub with my mates and had a beer every weekend or got on some weed. It doesn't matter because I'm not that person. But I very easily could have gone down that path. But because I went through so much suffering, and I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about mentally, I suffered because of that. I had to get myself out of the hole. I'm so glad it happened. So if you're going through the shit, if you feel like crap, good. Does it upset you? Good. Does it piss you off? Good. This pain that you have inside, you need to use that to fire you the fuck up. Because this is what you have right now. You have the pain that you're running away from, and you also have the life that you're running towards. And you could only understand what type of life you want if you write it down. That will be your goal. That will be your North Star. And everything you do in life is to run away from the pain and to drive towards that goal. And so me staying up till 12:30 last night and waking up at 2:30 this morning, that's what it is. That's all I'm doing. And guess what? I had 7 back-to-back sessions. 7 hours of constant talking, constant thinking, being creative, making sure that I was on the ball. I went on a run this morning. Only 15 minutes, granted, but I got it done at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I went to the gym and I didn't go to the gym. I was at the gym already, but when I finished with my clients, if you don't follow me on Instagram, by the way, it's exactly the same name that is in my handle. We're going to watch this whole thing just to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No slowing down. 7. Let's go, brother. 8. I knew I couldn't make it, but I tried it anyway. 8 reps. And I tell you why that's very important, because prior to this, I've only done muscle ups once in my life. Once. And that was 3 weeks ago. And I only managed to do 6. So to sleep 2.5 hours, 7 back-to-back sessions, go on a run, and then do that many muscle ups, a personal best, and I had a killer session at the gym, then it just goes to show that it's all in the head. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me up, because I'll be posting a lot over there, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, stuff that I've learned. I'm passing it down every single day. I'm posting. Of course, apart from Shabbat, I don't post on Saturday. That is my day off. That is my rest day given to us by God. But follow me up, because I post a bunch there. But I was fine. I was so okay. And it just goes to show that everything is up here. It's all up here. I could have easily woken up today and been like, yeah, 2.5 hours sleep. I'm tired. So it wasn't even 2.5. It was 2 hours sleep. I'm tired. I can't wait to get home and rest. What? I've been working non-stop, and here I am the second I get home recording a video for you to get this shit out, to let you know what this shit is really about. So when I said in the beginning of this video that I might ruffle some feathers and some people are not going to like watching this, and these are hard truths, then you need to understand that if you're somebody who's asking me why the fuck I'm waking up in the morning at 2:30, are you crazy? If you're someone who's asking me that question, understand that you're not in it. You're not willing to sacrifice. You're not willing to do what is required. And again, I'm not telling you that you need to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You can wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and still get your shit done. It's not what I'm saying. You need to understand the point. The point is, it's about sacrifice. It's about, will you put everything on the line to achieve everything that you want? And that's why I'm going to be successful in life. Spiritually, physically, I'm halfway there. And financially, I'm nowhere near there. Nowhere near. But mark my words, if you're watching this video, it's Friday the 14th of August, 4:24 p.m. 2026. I'm going to make a lot of money. And that's not me trying to show off. That's me showing you that I have the faith, and that I will sacrifice and put everything on the line, do anything I need to do in order to make the money that I need, not so I can drive Lamborghinis and, show off with a big house and all this kind of stuff. No, that's not why I'm doing it. And you have to understand, this is why the past 4 months have been so good for me, because I'm finally aligning with my purpose, which is to have a huge family. Huge family, please God, many kids, and raise them up the way they're supposed to be raised. All through Hashem, by the way, all through God. This is all by the grace of God. I can't tell you enough. Without him, I wouldn't be here. I could tell you countless of stories how I have ended up here, all miraculously, but it wasn't. It was all cultivated by him, by the man upstairs. And that's the faith that I have. And that's the faith that you need to practice. But the only way for you to gain faith, the belief, is that by understanding the power that you have within you, because that power is given to you by him. Any thought that you have, which is a good thought, even the bad thoughts really, but any good thought that you have, which is pushing you towards being a better version of yourself and the best version of yourself, and pushing you towards your purpose, That is a thought that God has put into your mind. And that is a thought that you will follow through with. But you need to first understand that the power inside you is so strong, and you have the power to control that. I never used to be able to control this power. No way. I still struggle scrolling sometimes. I still struggle having an extra cookie sometimes. I'm not perfect. But if we can get to a point where most of the time we're doing the right things, shit's just gonna follow. The good stuff's gonna follow. You're gonna get hench. You're gonna build muscle. You're gonna get lean. You're gonna make money. You're going to gain the knowledge and the wisdom that you need for this life. Every single day, getting after it. The inner power, it's there. You can use it for a good thing. You can use it for many bad things. But you can use it for many good things. Because once you understand that that power drives you to doing the right thing, your actions then show you that you're capable, that you can. And then you start building more belief. And all of this, all of these systems that I'm talking about, it's all created by God, by the one upstairs, the one looking down on us, the one hugging us always, the one who is always there no matter what. You know, I only started believing in God back in 2021, I think 2022, but even before I believed in him, there was this one line, and it was something about that there was only one set of footsteps. One set of footsteps. And the guy in the story, he goes to God, why? Where were you during this time? This was one of the hardest times of my life. Where were you? God turns around and says, those one set of footsteps were me. I was carrying you. And that time I got goosebumps. And the way I'm saying it right now, I'm getting goosebumps again. And if you're getting goosebumps, you may not. But if you are, that's God talking to you right now. That's God telling you that if you're going through a hard period, good. Embrace it. Because do you know why? Because God is carrying you through it. And if you really have that faith in God, in the one upstairs, then you'll continue, or at least you'll start to do the right things. Because you know right from wrong. You know what you should be doing. You know what you shouldn't be doing. And if you don't know what you should be doing, again, you need to write down your goals. You need to know exactly what they are. You need to know exactly what your purpose is. And you may not find out straight away, but you need to edge closer and closer towards it. If you don't feel like you're fulfilling your full potential, that's because you're not getting up and getting after it every single day. Man was made to conquer. If every single day you're chilling, you're relaxing, you're going to your 9-to-5 job, and that's all you're doing, you think that's enough? You think that's enough. And then you wonder why you feel like shit. You need to be fighting every day chasing. Man on a mission. That's what you need to feel. So at the end of the day, you can look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, have I done enough today? Have I done enough? When was the last time you looked yourself in the mirror and said, I've done enough today? I'm fulfilling my potential. Because I can tell you right now that every single day I can look myself in the mirror and say, I'm fulfilling my potential. Yes, I might have the off day. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. This is what I need you to understand, because I was once like you, doing the same thing every day, feeling like shit, looking like shit. And I'm not saying this to try and hurt your feelings, but if it's hurting your feelings, then good. If the stuff that you are doing on a day to day is not driving you towards your purpose, towards becoming better, at least 1% better every single day, then bin it. Take it out of your life. you don't need it, you don't want it, and use that inner force, that inner strength, that inner power to drive you to do the right thing. Then you'll start believing in yourself, because action creates belief, which creates more action, which creates more belief. And if you stack this up over time, you keep stacking and you keep stacking and you keep stacking, that's how you're going to get to the top of the fucking mountain. This morning, I was running up the hill. I was struggling struggling running up the hill. It's going to be a struggle uphill, brother. Nobody said it was going to be easy. But that's creating the character that you want to become. This is what you don't understand. The hardships are good. The tough times that you face are good. It's hard to hit 1,600 calories. Yeah, well, guess what? That is the sacrifice that is required if you want to lose fat and get into shape. Not because you want to look aesthetically pleasing, but because that is the type of man that you want to be. Strong, disciplined, consistent, resilient, courageous. Someone who cannot be stopped no matter what, doesn't let any outside ulterior things control them. You navigate your own life. If you want something done, you get it done. Not because the food tastes nice, so you ate it. Not because you were tired in the morning, so you went back to sleep. Stop letting other things control you and take control of your life. Once you take control, once you take accountability for where you are, life will only get better. And like I said, I'm far from reaching the pinnacle of where I'm meant to be. But this is only just the beginning. And I know every single day I'm stepping 1 foot closer. 1 foot closer. And that all comes from the sacrifices that I take. From doing the things that I don't want to do, even if I don't feel like doing it. Especially if I don't feel like doing it. Just got back from Salisbury. I spent 4 days with my girlfriend celebrating our 2 years. Our 2 years is on the 10th of August. Do you know what I was doing on the 10th of August at 12:30 a.m? Working on my laptop whilst my girlfriend was asleep in bed. And all I wanted to do was cuddle up with her because I was tired, I was knackered, so we spent the day in the sun, and I wanted to just relax and chill with her and go to sleep with her. That's what I felt inside. But you know that inner force that I'm talking to you about? The one that's supposed to drive you to do the things that you are supposed to do, not the things that you want to do in the moment, the things that you are supposed to do so you get to the place that you are supposed to be. That's what kept me up. That's what made me do the thing that I didn't want to do. But I did it anyway. And so that inner force, that inner drive, and I know I keep saying it over and over and over again in this video, understand that you have it. You know that you have it because you feel it all the time when you say 1 more video, 1 more cookie, 10 more minutes of sleep. All of a sudden, you don't care. You don't care. You've forgotten about your goals. You do care. You do give a shit. We have this one life. And you're going to fulfill your full potential, but you need to sacrifice. Sacrifice now for a better life later.